Yo, what's going on, guys? Fate here, and welcome back to another PR video. This time for Trick House Gastly Division, and I am joined by Ghost,
What's up, guys?
Saaram,
Guys.
and Scoothawk.
Yo.
And don't worry, this one will be a little bit more serious than the WPF Ubers.
Just like
It's
that.
gonna be a little bit more serious.
It
than
was
the
a
last
little
one.
bit more serious than the last one. Yeah, I guess we'll just get right into it. 16th, we had John. So, Celesteela,
Okay.
Gardevoir Mega, Volcarona, Tangrowth, Umbreon, Druddigon, Keldeo, Cryogonal, Sandaconda, Toxtricity. Alright.
The first thing we really kind of noticed on this team was that removal is super limited. Like having Volcarona as one of your best ways to remove any sorts of hazard is never a good idea. And then Cryogonal is your other remover with Rapid Spin, and yeah, it can come a lot of weeks, but you don't want that to be your main source of just always removing hazards every week.
Yeah, and you don't want to be forced to bring it.
Yeah, that really sets the team back from sweeping level Volcarona late game when you can't, have a Rooster or Giga Drain as your fourth move because you have to default for yourself earlier in the game.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
I think the other thing that we agreed on was that you really lacked a physical breaker on the team.
There's no physical breaker. Best physical breaker is probably fucking Druddigon.
Or SD Keld.
Yeah. Big Tangrowth, knockoff Tangrowth, sweeping teams.
Big Tang, Big Tang.
Big Tang.
Actually, I guess the best physical breaker is autonomized Celesteela.
Yeah.
Also, the speed tiers are so bad. They're really bad.
Can ask.
Yeah. This team's physical, though. It needs some work, but I think there's potential here.
Yeah, it just looks like it's stuck in between a place of it wants to be HO and trying to be semi-stall.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of stuck in that middle point of not really a balanced offense, but are you trying to go for stall or are you trying to go for a full-on offense every single week?
It also has a point left, which could get something.
Yeah, I hate when people just leave a point left. It's like, dude, just grab them on.
Yeah, he could have got a fire Magikarp with Hydro Pump this gen.
Yeah, exactly. There's really not much else to say about this team, though. So we'll move on to number 15, Nathan.
Thank you, Nathan. Nathan, yeah. Not to build a team.
Yeah. Nathan's team is a tragedy here of multiple sniping.
Sniped.
Yeah, he has Gliscor, Clef, Infernape, Slowking, I almost said Slowbro. Mega Venusaur, Weavile, Doublade, Dracovish, Manectric, Frostmoth, and Cradilly.
The biggest thing that stands out about this team is it really doesn't have an identity to itself. It's stuck between two very contrasting things. You have
the hazards hazard removal is very limited again.
Even setting up hazards is kind of limited too. So
yeah,
you have the first three can run hazards, but the rest of it, and you don't want to run hazards on Infernape or likely Gliscor
or Clef
if you're going to have to defog with it,
or Clef.
Or Clef, yeah, which leaves him bringing Frostmoth and Cradilly.
Yeah. So the biggest problem with this team is lack of defoggers and lack of good hazard setup itself too. And then he has only physical breakers.
Ethan should just quit. Give the team to somebody else.
I also don't
random Dracovish for no reason.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really don't understand the Dracovish pick or the Venusaur pick at all.
Those two mons aren't supported super well on the team. I mean, Venusaur makes a little more sense to me. At least you have a Fire, Water, Grass, but Dracovish makes no sense.
Just kind of thrown in there.
Yeah, it's just there to delete something. But
I mean, I guess it's there to complete the other core of the Fairy Steel Dragon, but
it's not a dragon type. It's not.
I feel like you could get a lot better of a dragon than
Dracovish is not a real dragon type.
It's a move. We can all agree on this.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more there is really about this team. Kind of really messed up.
Yeah, I think
So-
it's just the biggest thing for Nathan was the amount of snipes he had and the amount of times
He
he
got
would leave no
skipped.
picks, so we had nothing for him, and it would just end up in him getting skipped.
Fucking effort into your job, mate.
Let him know. Let him know. All right. 14th, we have Ampha.
This is the only 8-mon draft here.
I get this.
Shows this lack of options.
Yeah,
And
it really
this-
does.
Yeah, it just you're going to be very limited in what you bring every week, and I mean, defog is going to be like removing houses is going to be a problem because unless you're going to bring defog on Zapdos or you're going to bring Dragonite every week, and the thing with Dragonite is you don't really want to lose multi-scale, so like having a defog Dragonite
It's bad.
is bad unless
Yeah.
you want to run boots every week.
Like the
Few
thing,
words.
the thing with this team, in my opinion, is that like, yeah, it has 3 defoggers and it has 2 rockers, but most of those mons don't want to be forced to run those moves.
Yeah, it completely stops you from running a Scarf Jirachi.
Yeah,
Unless
exactly.
you have Piloswine. And
100%.
your Zapdos, in DLC, it gets pretty good moves. It gets Hurricane now, it gets Discharge. It can run a more offensive set, but you really can't do that when you have to defog with it.
Yeah, and like you said, the 8 or 9
That's
mon
first.
draft really shows its limited options.
It doesn't
Yeah.
have options in the first place, and it further restricts itself by making them run Stealth Rock or defog.
I think the first 4 Mons were a really good start to it, but then after that, it just kind of like
fell off. It just fell off.
it just fell off.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we said that the Suicune's pretty unnecessary, and that maybe getting 2 7-point mons would have been better. Better support mons
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
He needs Absol, by the way. He could just drop Absol and Suicune and then get a bunch of good mons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Absol does nothing. Absol's not coming.
yeah. So it basically limits you down to another Mon.
Yeah. Really, this team's really constricting, but I think we can move on, right?
Yeah,
No, I think if he does end up dropping Suicune, I think somebody's going to snatch it and can just.
Yeah, I just
I
don't
think
think
it
Suicune
needs
fits.
something to give itself more options.
But it,
All right, 13th, we have Jacob with Zygarde, Corviknight, Feeny, Rotom Heat, Azel, Lycanroc Dust, Chestnut, Alolan Muck, Mega Glalie, Samurott, and Wigglytuff. And what are you guys' thoughts on this team?
I think a big thing to point out here is the Tapu Fini, which actively hurts a majority of its own team. Rotom can't use its status moves that it'd like to spam. Chestnut can't use Toxic. Muck can't Toxic things.
Muck basically loses an ability, to be honest, because its Poison Touches
Yeah.
now
he
won't be
doesn't.
very good.
Zygarde can't run like Koyo Glare or Koyo Dragon Dance or anything like that.
Or Resto Chesto, or Dragon moves
And
in
then-
general.
The
Yeah.
terrain doesn't help Rotom or Aezo or Corviknight because they're not affected by it. Or not affected by it defensively, rather.
I do understand drafting Fini because I think his idea going into it was that he doesn't want burns or statuses on Zygarde, but it ultimately just ended up biting him in the butt.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think we can agree on one thing. Really, really nice. What's it called? The team pick.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Nice.
See how many times telepathy Fini comes.
Honestly, it should probably some games.
It
Yeah,
should
it's
come
just-
a majority of the times, I'm pretty sure. Because
Yeah.
you just can't do anything with Rotom or...
And it's not like not having terrain makes Feeny inherent. I mean, it makes it worse, but on this team, it's just better.
It actually makes it better.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, let's go ahead and move on to number 12, Love, with Lando T, Darmanitan Galar, Greninja, Mega Aggron, Blacephalon, Togekiss, Rhenoclus, Serena, Hitmonchan, Chinchou, and Roselia.
We kind of all agreed that like his first 3 picks were just hyper offensive with getting momentum and getting good switch-ins, and then he just threw random Aggron in.
There was no need.
Yeah.
There was no need to pick up Aggron at that point.
Yeah, it does not have... It has an identity crisis.
Yeah,
It's-
You
100%.
have 3 very
Yeah.
offensive Mons that gain momentum. You have a Blacephalon. You have a Hitmonchan,
No solid
and then you
core.
also have an Aggron, Reuniclus, Chinchou, Roselia.
There is no prominent core in. There's no
Yeah, does not have
water grass. He doesn't have Dragon Steel. And
it has a Firewater Grass, but its Firewater Grass is either Chinchou or Greninja, which both aren't real water types that were real.
Which just leads more to being a hyper offensive team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
and-
we
oh,
said
and
if he dropped
no
Aggron
dragon.
for a better mod,
Yeah.
for like Mega Garchomp or something like that could
Garchomp,
lean
yeah.
into HO a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Garchomp and then drop like Chinchou for something that gets like
That's
screens
anything.
like a really low value screen or something.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that was everything we talked about for this team.
Yeah, one
That's
more
awesome.
thing I want to add is that Lando T and Darm Galler aren't my favorite 17-point mons.
Yeah. I love Landers, but 17 points for it is kind of expensive.
Yeah.
For you could get something better in a later round for being a ground type.
Yeah, I agree.
There's nice momentum though.
There is potential in the team. Like if Love makes some really good transactions, can make it a top 5 team.
Yeah, you can make a really good hyper offensive team here.
Yeah, for sure.
Get rid of that Aggron, dude. It deserves to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pick up another steal for something probably, but otherwise, I think this team has a lot of potential.
Sure. Yeah, no. It has potential. It has potential.
Yeah, there's definitely potential there.
All right, moving on. Number 11, Luxanse. Luxanse. Okay. Zero Aura, Mega Metacham, Melmetal, Blastoise, Rabombi, Runerigus, Incineroar, Dhelmise, Dragalge, Archeops, Chansey. How do you guys feel about this team?
This team is interesting. It lacks a distinctive middle game. It has really strong breaking, and it has decently strong cleanup. But I'm not sure how it gets to that point.
Lack of a special attacker really hurts this team because unless he wants Zeraora being special every week, like I just don't see a good special wall breaker on the team.
What about Shell Smash?
Yeah, but I mean,
also Smash is pretty
Yeah.
decent. I think that and B are decent end games, but it's still like tough to get there.
I don't know. His special breakers are pretty tacky, to be honest with you.
They're matchup dependent for sure.
Yeah.
Because
I think in general this team is very matchup dependent.
Because you're not going to bring Dragalge to every game, and that's like probably his best special attacker on paper.
He has a Chansey and Melmetal, which could definitely shut down some teams just on paper.
Yeah, for sure. I think his support outside of Chansey though is pretty lacking. Yeah.
Get Swish, right? Support.
He has Incineroar with U-turn. He has the okay Volt turn core.
Yeah.
Archeops is kind of awkward.
I guess I just want a better ground than Runerigus here. Is the main thing.
It's also
just
really
feels
slow.
super awkward. Yeah, and he has 2 ghost types, so I don't know.
Yeah, he has 2 ghost types. His team's pretty slow. I mean,
he
has fast mons, but he doesn't have like the middle speed tiers.
Yeah, he doesn't have like base 80.
The
He doesn't
ground
have any
weakness,
base 80s. He has one mon that's 78. He doesn't have any 90s.
The ground weakness on this team too is going to be kind of interesting to see how he plays around it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he can't really
like Lando T
in on those.
Troublesome.
Like Lando T just clicks U-turn on this. Garchomp will just click. Yeah. Garchomp clicks buttons. Mega Garchomp clicks buttons even harder, in fact. You can run Draco on that.
What do you guys think of his core, though? I think it's not dominant. He's got Incineroar, Dhelmise, and Blastoise.
It's okay.
I think Incineroar is really good, but Dhelmise and Blastoise
I really like Incineroar, but not on this team.
It doesn't fit the team.
Yeah. There's not really momentum.
Parting shot, U-turn, wall switch. It's all there, but he has to piece it together somehow.
He doesn't have stuff to exploit that, I don't think, necessarily.
I guess no. I
He's
do.
a zero or on a meta champ.
I think
But
he
outside of
does
that-
have things to exploit it. I just think it's a matter of I don't know. The support ones don't seem as good to me, and somewhere feels like it could get chipped very easily. Maybe another mon with like U-turn or Volt Switch outside of Zero Aura would really help this team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
just
could do
because
that.
he really only has what for switching right now.
In
He
terms
has
of
for
momentum,
Similar
Zero Aura-
spawning shot or U-turn in the orders.
yeah.
Yeah,
And Archeops, I guess.
I mean, if you bring Archeops, you're probably in a position where you like it's desperation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Archeops is
that was the other
not
thing I was going to bring
necessarily
up
real
too.
Pokemon.
Is if someone has a good ghost type, you might struggle to get rid of hazards if you don't bring Archeops.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I think we can move on now to number
Yeah.
10, Trappeach.
It's a team, dude.
I
So-
think this team
Go ahead.
it struggles uniquely. I think it has really good setup for the end game, but I think it's going to be hard to get there. He has a Tapu Koko, there's a Necrozma, Charizard, very solid mons.
Fire.
But how do you set up for these?
I think that the support is just really awkward once you get past the first three mons. Like supporting those first three mons is going to be really awkward. At least the way I see it. With Gligar being, it's a good mon, but I don't know. I don't like it that much. Buzzwole is an awkward mon. It can really shut down certain teams and then do nothing against certain teams. So, yeah.
The other
Yeah,
thing that
I don't have-
going off your Gligar point is that yes, it is a very good. I mean, how do I say this? So it has the syndrome of like if it does get a defog off, they're gonna get more momentum, and if you want to leave it in, you're risking getting knocked off, and then you have no Eviolite, and it all of a sudden goes from a really good defensive mon to a subpar defensive mon.
It's
He
not
also
even.
doesn't appreciate knock in general, to be honest. It's a Buzzwall, but that really wants its items for a lot of its sets.
Yeah, like lefties and choice band. It's just, you really don't
Yeah.
want to lose.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess Persian's your best knock switching.
Or Coco, but you don't want Coco to lose its item.
Yeah, you don't want
often.
Coco to lose its item either. It also doesn't have really good ways to get rid of hazards for a Charizard. There's a Serperior and a Gligar.
Yeah,
I
the
also-
SERP is not very good.
And
in this
Yeah.
format.
Especially with no DLC. I mean, with no cut moves, Superior loses a lot of its
Yeah, it really can't hit Steel
Viability.
or Grass types.
The tower is gone, so that's.
I think this team has potential. It's just kind of
It's just missing, I think, honestly, a good grass type.
Yeah, I think if it
Yeah.
had a better grass type, it'd be a lot higher up for all
a
of
better
us.
Grass type and a better way to get rid of hazards.
Yeah.
I think the
I
best
think like
way to
Regigigas isn't going to do anything on this team. I think
Yeah.
you could drop that in Superior and get something pretty nice.
I agree. Yeah.
for sure.
All right, moving on to number 9, Techno, the Texas Magnomites. So, what do you guys think about this team?
Okay, personally, I really like this team. I don't know about the rest of them. They said, okay, there is one really big problem. There is no raw breaker in the team. Like, no one is set up to break through. That's one really big issue I found about the team. Apart from that, I love the team.
I like how it looks as well. I think it definitely will have problems breaking if Cinderace can't do its thing, however. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
reliant on that to open up games.
Yeah, and I think we all
Yeah.
agree
It
that
gets
Cinderace isn't the best.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not
It
the
will.
best way.
It will go in versus certain teams, and other teams that will really struggle. I think that's his main way to open up teams for his Thunderous or his Kamo or his Scissor to
I think
sweep in game.
speed tiers were another problem with this team as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Just looking at it, because he goes from 119 at Cinderace down to 101, I believe. Yeah, 101
Yeah,
with
101.
Thunderous.
Your fastest speed should definitely be above 125.
I think it should be at least 120 or above.
At least when Cinderace is from Cinderace is forced to scarves, I think.
It also
Though the other thing we talked about was Komodo more than likely might have to be a defensive mon a lot of the weeks that he brings it.
Yeah, and like you look at his team and you don't think that, but I think Toad is not reliable enough, nowhere near as much as Como in most matchups, which is why I think defensive Como is just a way better bring, especially for a rocker.
Yeah,
He has
yeah,
5 rockers. He has like decent rockers though.
and he
He's
has
really
great.
nice.
He has good removal as well, I would say.
Yeah, he does. This team's
'Cause
utility is definitely good. I just think its raw
Yeah, it's
breaking
just
power is nowhere near what it should be.
yeah, because I mean he has great. He has a great like early to end game, but that middle game of just breaking walls down, or it's just kind of missing in his team.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
There could like potentially be some, you know, quirky sets with like Trick Yutzi to help with that, but the stuff isn't reliable.
Yeah,
I
to
think
really
he's going to have
focus
to
on.
bring that kind of gimmicky stuff to help his Cinderace.
Yeah, creative prep will really help here, but I don't think there's much else to say about this team. So we'll go ahead and move on to number 8, Scoothawk. That's our boy.
Boy.
Yep. So how do we feel about this team?
It's going to be a pain to prep for. That was the one thing we all talked about was the fact that he has both weathers and sun and sand. It's going to be hard to distinguish which one he's going to bring every week. I mean, yeah, it's going to be very matchup orientated, but after you prep for one of those, Mew's just kind of sitting in the back, and that makes it even worse to prep for. That was kind of my personal opinion on it. Was just
I
prepping
think
for it is going to be hard.
my team's going to be pretty ride or die on a lot of matchups. Depending on like, I have options, but I also, you know, will struggle with some things that have good matchups against Excadrill in particular.
Yeah, I think it's because your speed tiers are really low outside of the weathers, which
Yeah,
is definitely a
Yeah,
problem.
and
yeah. My fastest mon outside of weathers, Manchao.
the other
Yeah,
thing we talked about was removal. Um, having and sunsetting being Zard Y being your best sunsetter or your only sunsetter kind of sucks because if you don't remove those hazards, and it's just going to be a problem to get rid of them.
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't think
and
there's too much to say about my team. It's pretty standard to what people see now.
Yeah,
Double weather.
Excadrill, Yard, and Tyranitar is nothing new.
yeah, for sure. Definitely a pretty constant core that we've seen for a long time.
Yeah, we've seen it back since Gen 6.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to number 7, we have Keith Sheldon.
Beautiful team.
Yeah, this team has a lot of really good synergies, which is really nice.
It has Heater and Bulu, which is insane, and Bulu, notably in the DLC, gets a ground move that isn't weakened by the terrain,
And play rough.
which is
and
really great.
yeah, and he gets play rough.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Latios is
Latios
absurd.
after DLC just becomes absolutely a monster.
Yeah, it has
Heracross
coverage for
gets
everything.
spikes now.
I think the biggest problem we had with this team, well, at least one of my biggest problems, was that Heracross and Staraptor, both being two physical walls you have, they basically do the same thing.
Yeah, actually, a lot of his team is walled by the same things. Like Bulu, Heracross, Raptor, like something like a Landorus actually just walls all of those. Defensive Landorus.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think his Scald switchings, like just the move itself, Scald, destroys him.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's like a tentacle. And also, he has Donphan, Palossand, Lycan, Rock.
Yeah, three
For a
weaknesses
total of
right
like
there.
22 points, and they all do
The
basically
same.
the same thing.
Yeah,
I also
Default.
really don't like Jolteon at all, but that's just personal preference.
I
Yeah,
think for 3
Jolteon,
points, it's pretty worth it though.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
worth
for
it
three
for 3
points, it is
points, but
worth
it
it.
definitely does not do what it did last gen.
Yeah, without hidden powers, it's not quite as good, but for 3 points, I
No hidden
really do
powers,
think
no
it's worth
signal
it.
beam.
Yeah, it's really worth it for 3 points though.
It
Keith's
does
team,
notably, it will outspeed things like Dragapult if he runs like quick feet.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
he does have like some kind of neat tech with Jolteon. Now they can't run more standard sets with it.
Um,
Jolts for 3 points.
actually, looking at this team again, his lack of removal kind of makes me a little worried. Double
The
looking
cool,
at it. Tentacle. I mean, yeah, Tentacle will be a decent remover, but Tentacle and
Tentacle
Dawn
and you can run default Gladdy if you need to.
Yeah, but I don't. In this situation, I don't know how much you're gonna want to get rid of Latios's coverage.
Yeah, Latios
Yeah,
is
you
covered
also
now.
don't want to get rid of your hazards in general. You're gonna want to stack Psycho Terracross and
Yeah.
set up your rocks with your
Well, I think
rocks.
that's a plus for him though, is that they're gonna be removing a lot of the time for him. So
Yeah. Okay, I see it that
it's
way.
definitely true.
okay, I think we can move on now to number 6, Eve with a logo drawn by our boy Scoothawk.
Yeah, so this is he's the Jersey Torcat. So we drew a Torcat, and it's got
Wait,
one eye like
that's a
Betty Wops and
Torcat.
Betty Wops from New Jersey. Yes,
Oh,
I think that's the
okay.
best leg.
it's an artistic representation.
I didn't realize that was a Torcat.
See, this is a Torcat after it's pivoted in 8 times in one match.
So it's gotten beat. Got it.
Okay.
Hilarious.
Okay.
So the team, he has a really threatening team, but Tornadoes and Victini will shred teams.
You guys
Yeah.
announced.
And then having
Slowbro
having
and
Mega
Tornadoes all
Slowbro
have good
is
synergy.
yeah. Having Mega Slowbro just is basically having Slowbro, so it really helps out.
Yeah, you have a decent regenerator core before you Mega. He has Suvali, which I actually really like.
Mhm.
I played a lot of NU this generation before DLC came out, and Suvali is a threat with 100 base power or 120 base power multi attacks.
Yeah, Sword Stance multi attack is so good.
Yeah, it also gets Explosion, gets Default, gets Parting Shot, gets U-Turn, gets a bunch of coverage moves.
I also think that Pert's just a better Seismitoad, so there's that.
100%. 100%. I also do like how he got Grimsnar to help set up with screens and stuff to help support Tornadoes and Victini, and even Slowbro.
Yes. Screens will definitely help Tornadoes.
Yeah.
Nasty pot up behind screens.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be really hard to break defensive Torn plus Slowbro as well.
Yeah. Drowlodon's also really fat too.
Yeah, it is.
And Swampert. Having Swampert too is going to be super nice synergy for Torn.
The only thing I really don't like is the Vikavolt.
I mean,
Sticklewebs is a good option, but you also, I don't necessarily think you need it when you have a Grimmsnarl.
I think he got Vikavolt just because if you look at his speed tiers aren't the best. And he probably wants to be able to not have to run Choice Scarf Victini every week.
Yeah, that is true.
Have you seen his rocks? Really weak rocks. Like Terrian, Victini, you've got World, Avalug, all very weak to rocks, right?
Yeah,
So
I mean, there's
Avalog probably will just run boots and
so I think so will Vikavolt a lot, or Vikavolt will be Sash lead.
Sovali gets defog, and you can run like Sovali. You can run like Sovali ground to resist it and get in with defog.
I will say that it could be a problem. It definitely could be a problem, but I think his team is like the top 3 are just way too good.
I would even say top 4 because Shaman's in the right situations is kind of
incredibly hard to switch in.
Yeah,
yeah.
Sure.
The special finish drops are very annoying.
If Eve's watching this, I'm sorry about the Hurricane miss that game. Like I know you didn't win the game either ways, but that miss sucked though. Yeah, put that out there. If Eve's watching it.
Good man. All right, I think we can move on now.
Yeah.
All right. So next up is myself at 5th. So let me know what you thought about my team, guys.
All right. So the first 5 mons are disgusting together. Diancie DLC can actually run physical now. Can run full physical. You got Draining Kiss, so you can run like Draining Kiss, Calm Mind, which is really cool. It gets Baton Pass now, which I'm pretty sure Dry Pass is legal. Let me check that real quick.
It should be, I think.
Yeah, it is Dry Pass.
Yeah, so you can Dry Pass into like your Rotoms if you need to. You can't run Diamond Storm with those. Which, it's unfortunate when we could try to bring that. Don't talk about that though.
Your breaking potential on this team is actually insane too. Just because Aegis Slash, Nidoqueen, Diancie, Darmanitan, they all just hit extremely hard. The one thing I would say that I wouldn't mind you trying to do, maybe fixing in transactions, is maybe getting another rocker.
Yeah,
Just
I was thinking that too. But I
just
was
because your only rockers right now are going to be Armaldo, Mesprit, Nidoqueen, and does Diancie get?
Yeah, Diancie gets
Yeah,
rocks.
Diancie
Yeah.
actually he has fine rockers because Diancie a lot of times is fine with running rocks
Yeah,
because
I
you don't
was.
really have a fourth move a lot of times.
Yeah, a lot of the time you don't have a fourth move, so you just throw like random setup or like a
Yeah, you
sub,
either run like
Yeah.
Endeavor, Rocks, Baton Pass, or like
or
some
something. Yeah,
some random gimmick because you only need 2 or 3 moves.
that you usually won't click anyway. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I was
Yeah.
kind of worried about that during the draft, but I decided to grab Masper because I needed a psychic anyway, and it's a rocker
Yeah,
too.
I do like the Mesprit pick was a good pick. You have a lot of potential to have different Scarfers every week too, which is something that I like. Just because it's going to be hard to guess what Scarfer you bring every week, especially because Darmanitan is. I mean, most people will know it as a Scarf, but you could kind of hide it with different sets as well.
Yeah,
I think
I wish I had a one around 105 too, but I just couldn't grab it.
Yeah.
I think also Diancie Aegislash is going to be really, really annoying to play around because it creates a lot of mind games, a lot of 50-50s with
Yeah.
Magic Bounce and King Shield, or you can also run like different Aegislash sets.
One one of the big problems I do see on their team is ground types might be a problem to you if you don't
Earthquake.
play around them well.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah, for
like a
sure.
Garchomp is pretty annoying to switch into.
Yeah, Edgequake is like definitely a problem, but
Edgequake or like a special Mega Chomp like Earthquake Fire Blast is
yeah,
also pretty annoying.
generally though, I think I have like the means to EV mons to like especially tank certain things. So hopefully I'm able to do that, but that's definitely a problem. Is the ground weakness?
Also, this is the first top 5 team.
Oh yeah, we finally have top 5.
Top 5. Let's go. All right. I guess we can move on. We talked about my team quite a while. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up is Tenkai, who has Dragapult stall pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best way to put it.
It's Dragapult Cart Stall.
We had a lot of discussion about this team because some people didn't like the team, some people did like it. I was one of the people who did like it just because having Dragapult, which is probably one of the best versatile mons,
I think it's top 3.
Yeah,
I think it actually probably is just the best.
Yeah, I think it's probably number 1, but
it's only outsped by Zero Aura in the format.
And yeah, with how fast it is and how well it hits from both sides, it's just disgusting.
It's really annoying to switch into. Silvally will be throwing off pretty powerful attacks if it needs to. Toxic does what Toxic does.
Wow, you're so
he missed Sylveon. He definitely missed Sylveon.
Oh yeah. DOD I'm not sure about. I haven't seen it do too much in draft. It normally it's run in more like offensive teams, so we'll have to see how that works out.
Yeah.
Lake and Kartana just cleans teams if they're
so good.
weakened.
That's the one thing I would change. He doesn't need Mega Steelix. I feel could get a better Mega, honestly. Like, no.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mega Steelix.
I could see that, but I like Wish Pass with Sylveon to Steelix.
Wish Pass into
Steelix?
Steelix is really good.
Yeah.
I think Pikachu also gets Wish if you want to run that for some reason.
It might. It just might. I think Vanillix is a really good value pick as well for only 5 points.
Yeah, actually, Pikachu could like low-key sweep a team, which is really funny to say out loud, but
oh gosh,
Light Ball is a broken item.
I really hope not.
He can run his Wish Pass Pikachu into the Steelix. So I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, there's
that's actually pretty decent.
There's not a lot to say about this team. I mean, it's stall with Dragapult, ST Spikes, and Wish Pass, with a couple like okay breakers like Goon and a really good breaker like Tana. So like, it's stall plus like a couple really good offensive mons, and we all know how that goes. We all know how that goes.
It's gonna be a hard team to play though. Playing stall well is really difficult.
Yeah, it is really difficult. So it's definitely gonna come down a lot to that.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on to number 3, Jolts, who has a Garchomp and a Ferrothorn. So those are some really good mons.
It just has a really good team. Like
Yeah, just
Really
in general.
It's just overall just really good.
Mhm.
It kind of lacks removal for this Gyarados.
Conkeldurr
Other than
gets
that, it's overall really solid.
Conkeldurr does get defog, so that does kind of help the removal, but
I
Yeah,
think
he'll run default Florges a lot.
I think
Yeah.
between Conk, Florges, and then like Boots, Talonflame, which can come, and
Yeah.
Ferrothorn setting up spikes so the opponent defogs will really help a lot with
Yeah.
Gyarados.
I really like Gyarados plus Garchomp, actually.
Yeah,
'Cause I
it's
feel like that pressures the same Pokemon very well while not necessarily getting countered by the same Pokemon.
yeah. I play him week
Yeah.
1 and I've prepped for him. And it was tough. It was a tough prep.
Yeah, Meloetta is also
underrated.
yeah, it can do a lot of things.
Yeah, and I really like his speed tiers a lot too.
Oh yeah.
Like
Seems
126 to
pretty
115 to 102 is like really nice.
kind of for sure. Really good.
Yeah, it's just overall really solid.
Oh, we're in the top 3 now too.
Top 3.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
top three.
Top 3.
Top three hype.
Yeah, I mean, this team's just really good. I don't know what else to say. It meshes really well together, in my opinion. Raiku's like crazy now, Scald. It's good.
Oh, dude, it's disgusting.
Old Raikou. Yeah.
I think the only thing that he might look into is maybe picking up one more defogger. But
Yeah.
as you said, Faye, like a lot of times team may not even have to run it because people will be so worried about getting hazards off their side that they'll run defog for him.
Yeah,
He
I
also
don't
still
think
has
Komala's
Koala.
doing too much in this game because it kind of does the same thing everything else does.
That's
Yeah.
true, but I mean, it definitely can come to a couple matchups.
Yeah, it could come.
Top 2 now. Top 2 time. So, Saaram, best player. You know who it is.
Hold on, let's fix that real quick. Hold up.
Okay.
This guy.
There it is.
Worst
All right,
player.
we fixed that.
All right.
Alright, no. This is
Technical
how
difficulties, you know.
I'll be very honest here. I'll just speak about this. I think mine and both team is like a whole nother level compared to all the other teams.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think Ghosts and mine team is like just way better than anything that you've seen there. Like,
I just want to say I did put
insane.
Sacrum above me. I did not think I was the first team.
Well, you get outvoted, brother.
Yeah, I know. I just think his team's potential to break things is just absolutely disgusting.
Yeah,
Mawile
Mawile.
is an absurd mon.
let's go through
With
this.
Slowbro.
Mawile, Mega, Slowbro, Sal, Room.
Or Choreo even. He has a lot of options to get it in and kill things.
Yeah, he still has good rockers and decent removal as well. And then for a trick
My
routine,
removals-
his speed tiers are pretty good.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
also has Nihilego, which can set up toxic spikes for Mawile. And Kyram's also pretty hard to switch into, depending on your team.
I think the one thing I would have liked out of this team is maybe another regeneration or regen mon to go with Slowbro.
Yeah. And
Like a
maybe
Tangela would be sick.
one more remover would be nice because it's still suspect, but you put so much pressure on offensively that it's like, I don't know, it's hard to
Be able to click defog reliably
Yeah,
and not lose them on.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty funny though, because like the team on paper, like if you just look at these mons, they don't like scream really offensive, but together they create a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I just think Mega Mawile is such an offensive mon that you have to
Yeah,
prep
it's
for every week.
disgusting.
And it's with its stabs basically, it's hard to have a good check every week.
It also gets it's hyper cutter before it mega evolves, so you can't even like intimidate it.
Intimidate it, yeah.
I've started using the Lickilicky recently in the few drafts, right? And I kid you, it's the best wish passer in the game.
Oh,
yeah,
Lickilicky,
dude, it can't get
It
taunted.
can't get
It's crazy.
taunted.
Yeah,
So
it's so
it's
good.
really good. And okay, yeah, I don't think anybody's noticed this about Lickilicky, but if you open up Showdown and you check Lickilicky's moves, the moves that it gets access to, it has so much variety. You can literally bring out anything. It has all the moves in the world. It has almost all the typings. So you're gonna run Wish, Protect, Toxic, and then the fourth move is gonna be something that you need to get rid of. For. So like, if I'm prepping for a Swamp, I can run Power Whip. If I'm prepping for whatever, like, if you open up Licky on Smogon, you'll just find out how many. Like, I was amazed personally, like seeing how many different moves there are. Like,
Yeah,
I've
if you
seen-
look at the recommended set, Wish, Protect, Toxic, Heal Bell, Dragon Tail, Seismic Talk, Knockoff alone is disgusting. It's Belly Drum, it's Block, it's let's see, it gets Counter, it gets Curse, it's Disable,
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to
it's
say
the-
I've
gets Explosion for some
seen
reason.
someone 6-0 someone with a belly drum licky because it's just you can't. there's-
Incinerate's really cool in draft, and Icy Wing.
Yeah,
it's just too much. There's just too much.
It's
Right.
Nightmare.
Okay.
Just knock off
It
power
gets
whip.
so many moves. Good lord.
All right, Licky Licky's really good. This team's really good. Let's go on to the last
let's
one
move on to.
because we can't.
Uh,
It's not a Licky Licky show. Number one, Ghost. We did already say Ghost is number one, but it's really not hard to see with this team with Mega Gallade, Hydreigon, Rotowash, Scizor, Klefki, P2, and then he still manages to fill it out with the last four. Like really good, really good.
So bad.
Yeah, it's just a really, really good balanced team. Has really good pivoting options with Rotom, Scissor, and P2, and Crobat even.
Even Hydreigon.
Yeah, Hydreigon. Yeah. I think Gallade could baton pass if you need to as
yeah,
well.
just got baton pass. I mean,
Also good spikes and Stealth Rock.
Yeah,
going into the
obviously good
draft,
Stealth Rock.
I wasn't expecting to get a team like this. Even throughout the draft, I actually really didn't like the team. It wasn't until I got probably either P2 or Klefki that I started piecing everything together. And then I had some help too from Stumbles and Hava on opinions and stuff like that.
team
So
is
that really
really
helped out.
solid.
I'm actually really excited to use Hippo though with no sand.
No Sand Hippo, the legend.
Yeah, Hippo's
So,
like
house.
Hippo theoretically walls every physical mon in the game. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And he has Klefki, which I think a lot of people sleep on.
yeah,
Because,
I love Klefki
having
double
spikes.
steal.
If you've ever played Oras, the thing is a monster.
Yeah, that is the one thing I didn't like about my draft is I did draft double steal.
I love that.
So
part.
yeah, that's what a lot of people told me was that they loved the double steals. It just I've never really drafted double typing before, so
Yeah, it's aggravating if you're not one that does it a lot for sure.
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that's everything. I mean, I just have good breakers, I have good walls. Everything's
Yeah,
kind of
Yeah,
Fit
good,
my
His team
good
almost
hazards,
looks like
good hogs.
a draft board team. It's just really solid overall.
Very easy way to sum up Gastly. I think
I will
like-
say the one thing I do not like about my draft is actually my speed tier between Crobat and Gallade, but that's an easy thing that I can eventually fix.
Like a 105 and like a 120 would be amazing.
Yeah. But
But I
otherwise,
don't think it's worth sacrificing what you'd have to get rid of for that.
yeah.
I don't know. You could get rid of Go-Goat. I think it's fine.
I already dropped Go-Go.
Oh,
I picked up Coolidin.
the more you know. Well,
Oh, that's
Coolidin's
actually-
just infinitely better. So there you go.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, this is team 0 now because there's no Go-Go.
Shout out to Go-Go. He's the GOAT.
Okay, well, I think
Yeah.
that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like the video. Hope you guys can show us all some love. He is indeed a clown. Subscribe
Yeah.
for more. Catch you all next time. Go ahead and say goodbye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.
the best.
He's not the best.
Q Nathan.